you guys. So I don't know how often I'm going to be on this account, and I'm just going to kind of ride with the energy. I'm going to be fully seen in all of my weirdness and all of my manifesting generator 6-2 Mercury in Aquarius, dramatic Sun in Pisces. I mean, I'm just going to share with you exactly how I think about things, because it's like if I don't share it, I make all of my personal people crazy because this is all I talk about, or it's just going to build up in me and I'm going to feel like I'm going to explode. So what I wanted to share with you today, oh, and by the way, my midhaven is in Capricorn, and then we just had a new moon in Capricorn. So I feel like I'm going to be spitting fire for a couple of days, or maybe this whole moon cycle, because it affects my career personally in my natal chart. So what I wanted to share with you is that the energetic tools don't apply to being a human. Now, what I mean by that is I want you to we're going to have x-ray vision for a second so that you can see conceptually how I understand this and how I've seen it translated into my life and a couple of other people's lives. So first of all, for us to materialize in this third dimension as a human being, we have to have a positive and a negative charge, just like subatomic parts have a positive and negative charge for the particle to be created. So physically, our body is like the macro of the micro of quantum physics. We have the positive with the mind, and we have the negative with the emotion. And this is like part of where we have been distorted within divine masculine and divine feminine. That feminine is actually negative. Feminine is dark space. Feminine is what happens as a growth stage to then birth the creation that the divine masculine wants. Like, you can also think of it as the sperm going into the egg. That's the positive into the negative to then create the new human. So we have this first field of our brain and our heart that then creates our physical body. That's the human body. Then we have a light body. So our soul, our energetic essence that has all the tools. It also has energetic construction of the brain and the heart, and then it also has the chakra system, which is our energy or emotional centers that I talk a lot about. Well, I haven't really been talking about it on my new work feed. So we have this light body, we have the physical body, and then we also have this third overarching field. And the third overarching field is basically how you move through the dimensions of the universe so that you can have different awarenesses. And so this overarching field is also where the Akashic records are stored. It's also a matrix of sorts. And matrix doesn't necessarily mean negative or bad. So we have these three fields: the human field, the light body field, and then the overarching field that has both of those in it. And they're similar to how we have an energetic field for this third dimension that has to do with the sun, the moon, and the earth. Then we have the field of the collective consciousness of a whole bunch of humans on the planet sharing the same thought and belief system. So energetically, there's these little pockets of ideas and ways that we do things based on common interest. And then we have the field of each human person of the brain and the heart. So the reason why the energetic tools don't work for the human is because when we're doing the work on the energetic side, the energetic anti-material side has different laws than the physical material side. And so our material side, we are subject to the laws of gravity and time to a certain extent. You can merge between two worlds of time or multiple worlds of time. So what happens is when we are so stuck on the thing that has hurt us, the pain, the thing that we're trying to overcome, the reason why we know we're binge eating, the reason why we know we're doing our self-harm habits, the reason why we know we have issues in our relationships or in our money, that thing cannot be worked on with emotional tools because that thing applies to your human field. And so what we actually have to do is zoom out and say, the reason why I'm struggling with all these things, the reason why I have these subconscious beliefs and these patterns that I keep stuffing my face when I don't want to, or I keep, making my bank account go negative, even though I quote unquote have enough money, but somehow I always get paid enough money, but somehow I never have enough money. That weird thing, we have to go out, because the human thing that happened to us when that thing happened is the thing that knocks us unconscious, or it's the thing that is like the catalyst for a hero's journey. Because if we zoom out and we say, I'm a soul having a human experience, that means that when you come into this dimension, you are putting yourself into an experience that you don't know what's going to happen. And the reason why you don't know what's going to happen is because we have the overarching field of what the cosmos are doing, because each planet and each comet has its own consciousness to it. And we have to be, we have unknowns also, or like things that we don't know what's going to happen because of the collective consciousness. The only thing that we are in control of is our very own brain and heart field within our human experience. So what that means is, when we have the bad thing happen to us, we cannot work on it with our energetic tools to heal it, to transmute it, to do whatever to it. Because here's the thing that happened to us that's causing the problems in our life is literally not our thing. So what it is to me is it's somebody's projection. So it's the perpetrator, that like you really were a victim in the situation. You really did get broken. Like, let yourself off the hook. You didn't vibrationally attract this experience to you. You didn't karmically earn it. You didn't deserve it. It is literally the thing, the unknown, that you said as a soul, I am willing to experience the unknown because I am willing to go through the hero's journey. And then we look at our natal chart and we look at our gene keys and we look at our human design and we're like, oh, this is me acting in my highest self. This is me acting in my low self. What energies have I played into because of the unknown things that have happened in my life? So I realized this recently because I've been working on daddy issues for so long, like my whole life. I'm going to be 40 in March. And I said everything that I need to say to my dad. I have said it. I have faced the rejection of him not hearing it and still playing out the things that he did and said and made me feel as a little child. I did it all. There is nothing else for me to quote unquote fix about my daddy issues because they were never about me. And so it's like we have all this time that we're spending in our energetic tools trying to figure out how to actually let go of this thing that happened. And that's actually what it is. The thing is to let go of it because it's not your thing to work on. It's an emotion that somebody projected at you because of how they felt about you and how they were envious of the parts of yourself that were still whole, that they had already abandoned with their unknown things, that they did not hear the call and go through the healing process and become a better, wiser version of themselves. Unconsciously, that is what's happening when they look at you. That is why a perpetrator can harm somebody else. This is why our perpetrators in our family dynamic are repetitive behavior. Because the emotion that they're projecting onto you is twofold. It's, this person is reminding me of who I have abandoned in my belief that I am separate from source, in my belief that I am separate from all of the universe and therefore unworthy. That's step one for them hurting you in this unknown of the human experience. Step two is that they are also judging themselves about how they did not answer the call, and they're judging themselves because there's going to be a deep down element where they know they shouldn't be doing it. So that, to me, the judgment about the emotion. So you have judgment and you have the emotion like zinged at you into your human field. And your job as a human is to take information from the environment, from the energetic field, which is emotion. We measure energy in emotion. Look up the emotional scale. Our job is to feel what emotions and what energies are in our field and identify with our brain, yes, this is me, no, this is not me. This is the alignment question. That's just what being in alignment is. So when we become human to have this unknown experience, to go on the hero's journey and listen to the call, and we forget that the bad things that happen to us are just the little like the little exciting things that happen in a movie. And they're painful, and they're so painful that they become overwhelming that we lose sight of what this incredible experience is. So if you are, if you got your issues with your relationships, with your finance, with your food, with your body, whatever, it's like, go over to my other feed. It's Lauren Saracion, because there is a graphic that has a bucket, and it breaks up the unconscious, subconscious, and the conscious. The things that you are doing in your life that are messing things up are the subconscious systems, behaviors, ways of being that your brain has said, based on this identity of this really shitty thing that happened to me, this is how I do life. So you have the shitty thing that's hanging out in your unconscious, your hero's catalyst. Then you have the subconscious operating systems that identity is telling your human what you do. Then you have the conscious thoughts where you're like, what the fuck? I hate this. I hate that I never have enough money. I hate that I'm still dealing with food. I hate that. That's the conscious awareness of the subconscious patterns we can't break because of this identity that most likely in our early childhood development of 0 to 7, we felt a vibration inflicted on us, and then we felt the judgment from the person inflicting the vibration. But because it was our field and because we were so young, we didn't remember, we didn't have a wise, 40-year-old brain to say, actually what you're feeling is their own shit. Don't even worry about this, and go on playing in the sandbox. Like, we don't have that when we're little. So that's all it is. And I was just talking with my mom about this. I was like, you're not going to believe like what is happening, because yesterday I got the idea to open up this account again to talk about what it's like to change my life, since I've been able to change my body so much in the last 18 months, but really reflecting on a journey that started in 2010 to stop binging. And I'm like, holy shit, in 12 years, this is everything that I've learned. I think what I'm going to do is keep it separate and have some information on my work feed, specifically targeting all of this energetic information about binging. But then I'm also going to come on and then just share about me openly on this other account and what it's like now. So I was telling her, I was like, you don't understand, Mom. I'm like, we've been doing it wrong. Like, there's people who have the bad thing that happened to them and like constantly on it. And they're like aware that they are making it responsible for how they are in their life and in their body. And then we have the people like me who have been applying all these energetic tools to something that's in our field that is not ours to fix. Like, there's no way I could possibly fix the energetic emotions that I have had in my field from my daddy issues, because they're not mine. My only job is to go through my subconscious and my conscious beliefs and systems and habits and change them and let go of the unconscious identity that I made about myself because of how I felt with having this interaction with my dad. So when I shared that with my mom, I was like, we've been doing it all wrong. We've been applying energetic tools to our human field. That's why we can't get over it, because it's not ours. Literally not ours. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Let me know. I don't know when I'll see you again, but definitely every day on my other feed, it's Lauren Saracion. We'll see you here when I see you.